Hello everybody, my name is Kaylee and I'm an INFJ 9 Wing 1, and today I'm with my dad, who you've probably seen before, who is an ENFP 7 Wing 6.
Nice to see you guys.
And today we are going to be doing his Enneagram interview. Interview.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Let's do that thing.
Yes. Okay, so first question. How did you discover
And I haven't
your
read
type?
these questions yet.
Yes.
In a true 7 fashion, I said, I don't want to read them first. I'm going to...
Unlike the one of the 3s, one of the 4s, and one of the 6s who needed a complete week to ponder on these questions.
Can I study these questions?
Yes.
By the way, my name is Dr. Tom LaHue, and I do have a YouTube channel about the Enneagram. And thank you for having me today, Kaylee.
Yes.
All right, so let's do the questions.
Yes, his information and my information will be linked in the description box below. Our websites, because we do coaching, and our channels.
Bueno.
All right, so first question. How did you discover what type you are?
That was pretty easy. When Grace, your sister, came home from a conference talking about the Enneagram, I thought, okay, another one of those personality things like Myers-Briggs or DISC or Strength Finders, whatever, helpful stuff, okay. And then we got this little simple book that had these descriptions in them. And I read the 7 and I was like, oh, that's me. I knew immediately. That's me. Yeah, definitely. And at first, it was very positive, and you see all the strengths and everything sounds great. Likes to be happy, wants to have joy. But then the more I studied it, the more it kind of scratched in on me and became painful. And I really couldn't shake it. But that was when I first learned it. Just reading a little description out of that, like Enneagram Made Easy, I think was the name of the book.
Yeah, I remember you read it and you were... Oh, I'm 7, dancing around. I'm the most fun type.
I'm proud of myself.
Woo! And Mom was like, I think I'm probably the 2. And of course, she's a 2.
Everybody was like, no, you're an 8.
You're
No,
4.
she's a 2, yeah. And I was like, no, I think she's a 2. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I was proud of myself. I'm a 7. This is the best one.
Shout for joy.
The best one.
Okay, and you are Wing 6.
Right.
So how do you notice your Wing 6 in your everyday life?
Well... I've seen 7/8s, right? Okay, the Jack Blacks of the world, we've seen 7/8s, the Miley Cyruses, and they are a lot more willing to go after what they want in life without regard, I think, to how it impacts other people. And I think as a 7/6, I have that 6 caution to me, like, I don't want the other people to be upset at me. I want things to be happy. I want everybody to be happy. And as a social 7, I want the whole group to be okay, and I want the group to be happy, not just me. I want the whole group to be happy. So I'm very cautious in my pursuing of, chasing after the things that I think will be satisfaction. I don't want to spend the money. I don't want to upset anybody. And so those 6 values, I think I hold pretty dear.
Yeah, I would say like... The 7 Wing 8, it's very obvious they're a 7 most of the time. You might think they might be an 8, but you're like, you showed up. They're here. Hi, welcome to the party. Whereas the 7/6 can kind of be this like the everyday 7 for...
Yeah. I would say in my job, when I'm public speaking, I can lean on that 8 a lot more. Mm-hmm. I can sound opinionated, direct, challenging, and that kind of stuff. But in my everyday life operating, much more cautious, careful, checking in, anxious. Like if I think somebody's upset with me, Kayla, are you okay? Are you upset? Are you angry? What's the matter? What's going on? And I might chase after somebody in that anxious energy of a 6.
Yeah, like the assertive compliant, not just assertive.
Yeah, right. Where like a 7/8, think about it. They're going to go after what they want. And if you don't like it, sorry.
Yeah, you get left behind.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, next question. What do you consider to be your biggest achievement?
Well, obviously raising a family. Raising a family. And I think, for 7s, raising a family is difficult. It's...
And providing for and taking care of.
Yeah, you got to be a grown-up. You've got to be an adult. And... I see the unhealthy 7s darting away from responsibility.
Yeah.
And running and chasing and fleeing in frenetic sort of unfocused energy. And I think, really becoming an adult of having a family, holding down a full-time job, not moving every 3 years, which might be my impulse, is like, well, we're missing, we could live over here on this side of the country. We could, going through education and all those things, it's all one stuff, really. Mm-hmm. I'm proud of myself for staying with difficult things and seeing them through.
Yeah.
And doing things that ones would probably naturally do.
Yeah.
I've got to work at that, and hopefully do it in a 7 way,
Yeah.
And don't misunderstand me. I mean, I think having a family is the greatest blessing, and it's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. But it's also a lot of carrying diaper bags and car seats and sacrifice. Yeah.
Worry and stress and other people's agendas.
Right. And hey, we're going on vacation. Where are we going to go? The kids will have the most fun at the Children's Museum. Mm-hmm. So let's go there.
Yeah.
And in my pure 7-ness, I would think, but I would have the most fun
somewhere I've never been before.
Skiing or, something that would be for me. But no, for the kids' fun, let's do this thing they'll enjoy.
Yeah, and I think that's something 7s can be really, really good at, though, when they decide, I'm going to be happy where I'm at.
Oh, yeah, that's all of it right there.
Yeah, when you decide, I'm going to be happy at the Children's Museum because that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, 7s can be...
You bring the joy.
7s can be at the greatest place on earth and be miserable.
Yeah, I think... the main guy, Hugh Jackman, the character he plays in The Greatest Showman, is a good example of a 7 who's bringing joy to his family, but then kind of gets distracted a little bit. But be happy where you're at. Everybody else, you're going to just fill them with joy as well.
Yeah, you can really see this with 7s. When they're in a low place, they could geographically be at the most fun, most exciting, best place in the world, and be miserable. Mm-hmm. Because why do we have to leave so early? How come we didn't get to come yesterday? It's raining outside. This isn't all that it was supposed to be, and the lines are too long. And they could just be miserable at the best place on earth. On the other hand, the cool thing about 7s is they can literally be the comedian in a dungeon. Yeah. They could be locked in a dungeon with a bunch of other prisoners and have everybody laughing to the point of wetting their pants.
Yep.
So they could be in the worst place ever if they have the right mentality or in the healthy place. They will make cleaning the house fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we love you for.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, what are your 3 best qualities, would you say? Your 3 best qualities.
As a 7 or just as me, myself?
Just as you yourself.
They're probably things that I would say that, like, my wife might say, you're not like that at all. Because they don't realize how hard you have to work against your impulses.
Yeah, like when an 8 says only one mean thing to you, they're being really nice at keeping all the other ones in.
Right. Yeah, and you're like, do you think that you're tolerant? An 8 might say, well, I'm very tolerant of other people's points of view. I don't shoot them. And the rest of us looking at would think, you think you're a tolerant person? So I would say the very first thing that came to my mind is responsible. Is that I see myself as a responsible person.
Yeah.
And I think that takes work for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it takes work. I think some people, like 1s and maybe some 6s, 2s maybe, they're just responsible. They just, of course you are. And
they're born that way.
That way. I have to work at that. I mean, I've got to tell myself no. And so I would say responsible is probably the first thing that comes to my mind. I think being lighthearted and bringing a sense of levity to things. There's so many times, especially in my job, there's so many times when I thought, I wish I was that kind of leader. I wish I was that kind. I wish I projected this strong, level-headed, responsible, decisive. And then I realized, you know what? I am a 7, and I need to just be the healthy 7 and not try to pretend to be something I'm not. And yes, I come in through the front door whistling and singing, and
Alexa's playing Welcome Home, and
Yeah. Oh, she just turned on. And I mean, I at the end of the day, that's who I am. And you know, what did your parents tell you when you were a kid? Just be yourself, be yourself,
Yeah.
be yourself, be yourself. And I don't think we're very good at being ourselves sometimes. We want to project something that we're not. And I really, as a 7, I really think that you can fix things with enthusiasm. I mean, I've always believed that. Like, if you go into a situation that's not working well, come on, guys. Passionate about it. We need to just, we need to believe in it again. And I think I can be an inspiring voice to people. Because I really do think that if you'll get excited and passionate about something, you will then put the effort and the energy into it, and it will often get better. So I think that sense of responsibility, I'm proud of myself for working at that sense of levity, that positive energy, that I know that sometimes I can look probably like a fool, because I really don't care if I look like a fool. I think 3s and 7s could look alike for a while, but then, the 7 is not afraid to look like an idiot. And I think the 3 doesn't want people to laugh at them. If I'm making your life better and I'm making your day better by getting a pie in the face, I can live with that. And so, I don't know if I really answered your question, but
Your best qualities. Yep.
that's what comes to my mind.
Okay. And then when do you feel most confident and most insecure?
Most confident. I think when I've gone to 5 and I've done the research and I feel like I have something important to say. I don't feel like all the time I have something important to say. I don't just sit around and think, I've always got something important to say. People should listen to me.
I should make a YouTube channel.
No, I do think that, okay, I'm going to go to 5. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to read, think about stuff, talk about it with people. I feel like I've got something to say. I'm going to say this. And I'm not claiming to be an expert at this. I'm just going to tell you what I think. I'm not afraid at all of being on the stage. Never have been. I'm okay, comfortable on a stage. I do want to be prepared, 6-wing. I do want to be prepared. I do want to feel like I have content, goes to 5. So I've got those lines, right? And then I feel like when I'm up there giving information, inspiring people, challenging people, leaning on my 8, I feel like I'm in the zone. I feel like I'm doing what I'm created to do. Not just to bring joy and happiness, but to challenge people in that 8 energy, and certainly to bring joy. What was the other part of that question?
That's
insecure.
Yeah. So when do you feel the most insecure?
I
know 7s don't like to go to the bad of things, but
yeah, that's true. If I feel like, there's people that are upset with me, it's been said, like, the only way to get a 7 upset with you is make them think you're upset with them. Like, the only way you can get a 7 to turn against you is if they think that you're against them, then the 7's like, what? And I do have a problem with that. I could be a pleaser, like too focused on pleasing people sometimes, I think. I need to lean on my 8 a little more. But I would say that if there's conflict or somebody's upset or I feel like I've made somebody upset, that I feel pretty insecure about that. I feel pretty anxious about that, insecure about it. I could be like a 9 and want to avoid, not deal with it, I want to reframe it. Oh, well, I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. That's not what I meant. Why would they think that? I didn't. Yeah.
Never, not me.
Right. I think 7s want to bring joy to the world when they find out
the situation.
When they find out that their actions have brought heartache into the world. That's a hard thing for a 7 to accept.
Yeah. And maybe I think kind of with that, a lot of 7s have a hard time taking responsibility for their actions, and you take responsibility for your actions just all the time, and you'll take responsibility for other people's actions, no, it's fine, I'll take the blame, it's okay. And that could be a little bit of a way to not have those icky interactions where it's like, well, somebody's to blame. Are you going to fess up to it?
And usually I'll be more than happy to accept blame. If we can move on.
Yes.
That's the goal. If we can move on. My wife found about, the book, The 5 Love Languages. Most people know about that, right? Well, there's another study that's done called The 5 Languages of Apology, I think it was. And I think my wife's, if I remember right, that's terrible, isn't it? I think the one that her language of apology is like, she wants me to accept and
Blame.
vocalize what I did was wrong, and I know it was wrong. She's got a very strong one wing, right? So I have to say to her, look, I said this thing, I was wrong, and I'm sorry I said it, and it was wrong of me to do that. Okay.
Yeah, growing up, just mom, say sorry. Now, what are you sorry for? Okay.
I don't know. I just want this to be over.
Whatever you want me to say.
But when I thought about, my language of apology, which I didn't even want to do this exercise because it's negative, sad stuff that I don't want to think about. But when I realized mine was forgiveness, like I would never think that. But when I really thought about it, it was like my language of apology is, do you forgive me? Will you forgive me? I want to know that this is over, that you were upset, and that's totally valid.
And we're past it.
And now we can move on. And now it's all forgiven. It's clean slate. We're all back at where we're supposed to be, and everything's fine again.
Yeah. And without a single thought going back to what the previous wrong was.
One of the things I've noticed about me is like love keeps no records of wrongs. As a 7, I think it's really hard to keep a record of wrong. It's like the mind doesn't want to dwell on those things. It's like, okay, that was bad, that was unfortunate, that was upsetting, and I need to just brush that away, and that needs to get reframed, and that needs to get removed because there's no room in this garage for those boxes. So let's get those boxes out of here. So if you're upset with me and I apologize, I want to hear you say, I forgive you.
I mean, we're done with this.
In some way. You don't have to use those words, but
it's all right. Okay, done. And then don't bring it up again.
It's all done.
Yeah. I think 9s and 7s are similar in that way. Just, I don't want it to exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah, the problems are gone, right? We fixed it.
Right.
Done. Gone.
Right. The flowers can grow again.
Yes.
Yes.
The butterflies flutter and the leprechauns frolic. Okay, what does your inner critic tell you? The voice in your head, when it's discouraging you, what is it saying?
It's not telling me that people don't like me. It's not telling me that I don't have something to say. It's not telling me that I don't matter. The negative critic in my head might be saying like,
he's muffled in there.
He's muffled, yeah.
Please let me out, please.
Might be saying that. I don't know. I think it would have to do with that responsibility stuff. Like maybe you're not being as responsible as you should be. It's that one voice. It's that one voice. I hear it. It's very, very distant. It's very, very distant. I don't have my brother is a 1-wing 9, right? He's got that voice, and you can see it.
You can hear it come out of his mouth.
You can see him get frustrated with the world. I can hear that inner parent, but it's so far away, and I can.
And I would say that's probably a good sign of health. Of you're not letting this inner critic kind of talk down to you all the time, but just. If it was saying something, what it would say might be something on that responsibility of, try harder. Don't.
You need to focus more.
Yeah.
You need to finish things. You need to get it on your calendar and complete the task and all those things. I mean, what you're telling a 7, they need to focus. That's the monkey mind, right? I mean, that's hard. And, I would say if the inner critic was telling me anything, it's like focus, get it done, stay in the library seat long enough to finish the task, because everything within me wants to distract away from the tedious, boring, lame, hard, mundane. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
What is the best feeling in the world, and then what is the worst feeling in the world?
The best feeling in the world is freedom. Easy. I mean, it really is. I'm not just saying that because it's in the book, but like the best feeling in the world was like if I had my family in the van. It can be an old broken van. That's what's cool about 7s is like it doesn't have to be an expensive car. It means nothing. It doesn't. I don't need it to communicate something about me to the world.
Yeah, you just need a mode of transportation.
Mode of transportation.
Yeah.
If somebody said, "Hey Tom, you have $2,000. Probably need more than that, but in my head you don't. in my head it's $500, but here's $2,000. Everybody's in the van. Everybody's happy. That's a part of it. That has to be true too. Everybody's in the van. Everybody's happy. Everybody wants to be here. Everybody is in a celebrative mood. Let's drive west. What could be better than that? To me, that's like the ultimate happiness.
Going somewhere, not sure where, doing something, not sure what, but we're all excited to do it.
Right. And how long?
Who knows what might happen?
Who knows what might happen? That's part of the fun of it. And when are we coming back? When we're done. And we're just going to drive west, and we're going to drive for 3 days, and then we'll look at a map. And that may be a lot of ENFP kind of stuff too. That P, roll with life. But to me, that like is the most freeing thought in the world. In fact, when I was in high school and I was very frustrated, at home, I was never really rebellious, even though I was 7. I've got that 8 wing. Other people in my family might have said I was rebellious, but I didn't. I just thought I was a smart aleck.
You work on your 6 wing, and you have that 6 wing to cushion you a little bit.
I was a smart aleck, is what I was. Smart mouth, right? But what got me through a lot of high school was just the thought that when I graduate, I'm getting a van and I'm driving to Colorado, and I'm going to drive to California from Florida. Florida's great, right? There's no reason to leave Florida. But in my head, if I could just be in a van and drive out west and just live in my van in California.
Doing my thing.
Yeah, there was no plan. It was just play a guitar.
Sit on the beach. Basically be a homeless person. Yep. Come home. That
got me through some very difficult times in high school. Just that planning. 7s are called planners. Really, it's dreamers. That dream of just freedom, of just the open road, no responsibility. Now, as an adult, I think, no, I want my whole family there. I want my family there, but I want us all happy. I don't want them complaining and when are we going to get there? And I don't feel good. And this isn't fun. And I'm sick. Everybody's happy. Everybody's relating well. And we're all going to who knows what, for how long. It's going to be great.
Yes. Good feeling. Okay, now the part that you're not going to like. What is the worst feeling in the world?
The worst feeling is like people angry with each other, frustrated, upset. We could be on vacation right now.
Or we are supposed to be.
We're supposed to be on vacation.
We're physically on vacation right now.
Right, but everybody's attitude is sideways, and, nobody's wanting to go and do anything, and we've got roped into responsible stuff that we don't want to do.
Yeah, you're the bad guy for wanting fun.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on.
like trying to. It feels like concrete shoes, and you're trying to like walk in these concrete shoes, like of people being frustrated, or myself being. Honestly, it's probably myself, as much as anybody else, frustrated and just like, things aren't working out. Like we have this plan. And we're going to be going, but, we have to go see this person at this time.
We have to stop at the doctor on the way, and then the grocery, and then pick up the mail. And we have a whole a to-do list that we have to check out before we can do the fun time and buy the.
And then that doesn't work, and it's raining, and it's just.
Bad.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. So easy. Next is what keeps you up at night?
Well, it goes to 5 and can think of the big, deep, heavy questions of life. But most of those I've gotten answered, I'm a pastor, right? So I've gotten answered most of those deep, heavy questions about life. I think when I see the state of American families, people just upset with each other, disconnected, treating their families like consumers. Like, well, I'm not sure I'm getting the best deal here, so I think maybe I need to be done and move on to something else. All of that, just like, when I see families not working, if I see my own family not working well, just those relational conflicts that we so often get into, those just weigh me down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny. When I asked Mom that question, she said, my kids. And I said, yeah. She said, yeah, like Madison's gallbladder. And then I was like, oh, literally, you're kept up at night because of your kid. Okay.
Your kid's health problems.
Yeah, she was like, they wake me up and they keep me, okay. She's like, and also thinking about them. Like, okay.
Right.
It was funny. Okay. What do you like to do to unwind?
You know, that is a very difficult question.
Yeah.
It's like asking a 7, is this going to be fun? Mm-hmm. You know, fun is such a subjective concept, right? Mm-hmm. And so many things in my head are fun that when you actually try to carry them out, they don't live up to
expectations.
So sevens are idealists. Mm-hmm. And so in my head, it should work out like this, but then the actual carrying out of it, you know, doesn't ever really often live up to. Because in my head, like, we're always on a boat. It's always a sunny day. We're all there together. We should end the day laughing and drinking sodas. Drinking sodas and, you know, eating fried fish and lots of people around. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's relating well.
It's like the end of a movie cue where they zoom out and they're still going.
It's everything that Michael Scott wants.
That Ferris Bueller does.
Wants The Office to be like, and he's always at, you know, we go to Chili's, you know, and it's in my head, it's like, yes, it should always be like that. What was the question again? The question is, what do you like to do to unwind? Yeah. I have some thoughts that come to my mind of seeing you, at least as like an observer, of there's two different thoughts I have of you unwind. One, by literally what the definition of unwind, of like just relax, you can turn on like a nature documentary or some type of historical documentary, something where you're still learning but you're not super engaged, or deep learning information of something. Both of those ways, I feel like the stress comes off your back. I'm going to learn all about Chinese medicine. I'm going to learn all about fragrances. I'm going to learn all about whatever it is that you're going to be learning about. Right.
Of reading and learning.
It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not a 5, right? It can be Spanish. It can be Hebrew. It could be, anything. I mean, the Enneagram. It could be relationships. Yeah. Something, it's more about engaging the mind. Or occupying the mind. Occupying the mind, because that boredom of nothing is painful.
Not unwinding.
Yeah, that's difficult. And I've been able to learn to sit with some of that too. But, I've often been frustrated with myself over this whole idea of hobbies. Because as a 7, we're naturally are collectors. We want to collect stuff. We want to collect experiences. We want to become connoisseurs. We want to try every one, and then you'll know which the best are. Mm-hmm. Do I really care about it? Not really, but the process is what's fun. So in my limiting way, I tell myself no, not to become over, spend money or time collecting things. I really wish I had a hobby that I truly enjoyed and thoroughly loved. Yeah. Not just ideas of hobbies or ideas of... And part of me, that 6 and 1, might feel guilty if I did. Like if I spent all my time golfing or riding a 4-wheeler in nature or something, then I would probably feel like I was leaving people out, and maybe they'd be upset with me, and I was missing opportunities with other people, and
missing out the FOMO.
So if I'm home with my family, I might be a jerk because I feel like I'm missing out on some fun adventure. If I was on that fun adventure, then I'd feel like I was missing out with my family. I really do wish I had a specific hobby that I just felt good about and enjoyed, that could occupy some energy. Yeah. And I think that idea of hobbies is a troubling subject for me. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like the word fun. Did you have fun? You go somewhere and people say, did you have fun? And I'm like, well, that's really a difficult word. I mean, there's 17 different definitions of fun in my mind, with levels and grades and colors. Mm-hmm. And, I feel like I should say yes, that was fun, but
It was fun. A7 on the chart.
But then again, you could go out to dinner with a couple and have much more fun if you just weren't thinking about, am I having fun? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, contentedness.
The struggle is real. Yeah.
Okay. How do you notice yourself going to your health points and your stress points? Your health point of 1 and your stress point of 5.
Well, backwards.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say, I do see myself going to 5 a lot. Researching, learning, growing, telling myself no, I have enough, I don't need it anymore. Boundaries, space, all those things I think are 5 values. It being a little more detached from needing stuff and all that. Of course, researching and I think I see myself going to 1 quite a bit too. I think the most obvious thing is like when I have in my head the way something should be working out and it doesn't work out that way, and you kind of take this posture, like no, it's fine. I'll just be here on this vacation doing what a dad is supposed to do, doing the right thing in the anger and frustration of a 1. We had to stay all day at the doctor's office, and that's fine. Let's do what
I love it. I love doctor's office.
So it's that frustrated, grumpy 1
doesn't look like pure anger.
Doing the right thing. And I will feel myself, I will even say to you girls, I'll say, I'm going to 1, I'm going to 1, I'm going to 1. Now what I mean is like, I'm giving up hope that this day is going to be awesome. I'm giving up hope that this day is going to be great.
If I can't do anything enjoyable, I'll just clean the pool.
I'll just clean the pool, cut the grass, and
do what I ought to do.
Let's just do that lame stuff all day Saturday.
Mm-hmm. And then how do you, and you said with the 5 of going to researching and saying less is more.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, last question. What are you tired of hearing people say about type 7s?
I think 7s can be deep. Mm-hmm. They don't come across as deep. Mm-hmm. They come across as shallow. Mm-hmm. I'd say 7s come across as shallow because we have many interests and we don't want to miss out on anything, so we tend to stay surface level. And when I know enough to basically know, then I know enough, let's move on to the next subject. Mm-hmm. But I think that 7s do have the potential to think deeply and feel deeply. And some of that is just because we're not the other types. Of course, 5s can go deep. I think 4s can be very deep. Mm-hmm. And many of the 9s, mm-hmm. 9s can be very deep as well. Mm-hmm. I think every type has the ability to go deep. I think sometimes as a 7, I'm not plagued with some of the challenges that other types have. Mm-hmm. Of course, we have our own challenges. One of those challenges is we tend to be very surface level. But I think we can feel things and think things pretty deeply. And I think that, I think of good examples like that movie, not Dances with Wolves.
Scratch that.
Dead Poets Society.
Oh, yeah.
Is a good example of Robin Williams, who's a clown, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a 7, he's a clown. But in that movie, he shows you another side to 7, that inspirer, mm-hmm. That inspirational side of a 7 mm-hmm. that wrestles with 5 kinds of things, mm-hmm. but doesn't get to that nihilistic hopelessness of a 5 or that,
stinginess of information.
Or that stinginess of a 5.
Yeah.
And I think that 7 sometimes, because they can be lighthearted, might not be taken seriously. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Or, dismissed when you...
Or don't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah. If you do have something you're working through, it might be dismissed, or
when
are you going to get over this? We need to be entertained again.
I want people to go with me. When I'm ready to be serious and thoughtful and deep, then let me go there and follow me into that. And then when I'm ready to be superficial, foolish, and idiotic, I think about that quote from Willy Wonka, where he says, a little nonsense now and then is relished by the wisest men. And I think when I'm ready to go there, then let me go there and let me be both people.
Yeah.
Don't think I'm one or the other. Why can't you be both? Why can't you be both a clown and a philosopher evenly?
Yeah. I think that's a very good point. Do you have anything else you want to add? Any other thoughts?
Clown and philosopher.
Oh, yes. Very philosophical.
Right.
Quite philosophical.
No, I think that's it. I think if sevens can really find that balance with the one, if a seven, instead of waking up thinking, we could do all of this, I could go get those things I need. If a seven could wake up like a one and think, what needs to be done today? What needs to be done today? The gutters need to be fixed. The dog needs to be taken to the vet. The car needs to be washed. Okay, I'm not going to resist that list. I'm going to accept that list. Now that I've accepted that list of what needs to be done, I'm going to do it in my seven fun way. That, I think, is a beautiful thing. And, of course, balance between your wings of caution of the six, planning of the six, following the rules like a six, mixed with the grown-upness of an eight, the willingness to take, as a seven, you have, really two lines telling you grow up, 1 and 8.
Same as a 9.
Same.
I'm with you. I'm being bullied by them both too.
I think 7s and 9s could have a lot of fun together, because 9 would be like,
watch Dumb and Dumber, 9 and a 7.
The 9 would say, let's get in the van. I don't have anything planned. Let's
you
go
borrow
across
my
country.
van? Okay.
Sounds good. Let's go. Right.
Yeah, that's how I'm here in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you want to book an appointment with either one of us or check out his channel, the description's
the link is in the description below.
The link is in the description below.
We love you. We appreciate you. And as always,
stay tuned for more.
Be present to life.
Be present to life.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.